Hi, I'm Eric Dryman. I'm a captain with the Indianapolis Fire Department. I want to take a few minutes here and tell you about my classroom session that I'll be providing to FDIC 2017. The title of the class is Vent, Enter, Isolate, Search for the Modern Fireground. We're going to cover multiple topics over the course of this hour and 45-minute class. We're going to talk about the impact of modern building construction and the difference between performing a vent enter search in a modern structure versus a legacy structure. We're going to talk about the effects of our modern furnishings with the increase in hydrocarbon-based products, the plastics, all the synthetics that we find in residential occupancies these days. We're going to cover how that smoke is so much different than the smoke was 30 or 40 years ago. Back when things were made out of more natural materials. We're going to cover things such as window identification, how to size up a building when you arrive upon the scene. How do you go about identifying areas that could potentially have victims located inside of them? And once you identify those areas that may have victims, you need to prioritize based upon reading the smoke, looking at the fire behavior, listening to your Fireground radio, listening to reports from other companies on the scene. How are you going to go about identifying who might be in the greatest peril, and then go to that window, access it, and then make entry inside to look for your victims. We're going to cover the different tools that you need. We're going to talk about the different assignments, whether you're the inside firefighter or the outside firefighter. We're going to cover how to manage flow paths and why flow path management is so important on the modern fireground. With flashover occurring at as short as 3 to 4 minutes now versus closer to 30 minutes pre-synthetics, it's very important that we understand the impetus that's been placed upon us to get inside to rescue these people as quickly as possible. We're going to also talk about what you do when you find the victim. What are some ways you can use to get that victim to the window if they're really large or you're struggling to get them to the window for some reason. We're going to talk about methods that you can use to transition the victim from the interior of the structure up onto the windowsill and ultimately out to your partner, whether that's onto a ground ladder and then your partner will take that victim down the ground ladder, or if it will just simply be, if you're searching a first floor, getting that victim up to the sill and then allowing your partner to drag them outside so that we can get them the medical attention that they need. We'll also have several scenarios that we'll perform during the class. I'll give you the opportunity to look at a structure and size it up, and I'll give you pointers that I use as a truck company officer when I'm looking at a structure to help me to identify things that can be tips on how to locate victims and areas that are in the greatest need of search. We'll also talk about victim survivability profiles and identify areas that even though there may be a victim reported trapped in a certain portion of the structure, if there are certain signs or certain things that you see from a smoke behavior and fire behavior standpoint, you may have to unfortunately rule those areas out based upon your survivability profile. So we'll cover all those topics as well. We also have a lot of neat videos that we showed during the program, videos of successful vent enter search rescues. We'll talk about some that didn't go so well, sometimes because of poor planning, others were just the nature of the beast and things that we run into on the fireground. So we're going to cover a lot of material. It's not all science and all modern fireground technology and information. We take a lot of what has worked for 60, 70 years since vent enter search was first created, and we still apply all of that. We just have come up with a way to do it on the modern fireground that makes it still applicable today. So I look forward to seeing you at FDIC 2017. Hope you take time out of your day to come and sit through my class, and I look forward to meeting you. Come up front, talk to me, introduce yourself. I always have a great time, and hope to see you in April.